So, guys, I got a treat for you coming up right now. Just a little bit extra for you. Late night, a couple weeks ago, we got to sit down at the High Roller Dispensary in Atlantic City, where they're going to be opening up one of the state's first cannabis lounges. I got to sit down with Jon Cohn, the owner, the head guy at High Roller, pick his brain a little bit. But the other day, Philly Phil at Late Night Green actually got to sit down with him, talk to him for real, really dive into what he's doing, what's going on in that head of his. And I got to see a little bit of it. Here's a little clip for you guys. Definitely some pretty cool. Check this out.
Um, so that's pretty cool. And again, kudos to you for what you've done with the dispensary. So tell us about the part of the tour we did here where we saw it connected to, or maybe we should even take a step back and talk about the relationship with the Clarence, because that's an interesting deal that you put together. And we're talking about a city where the casinos are dying, and when the casinos die, the hotel rooms die. And you really created a pretty interesting idea that is, in my opinion, a win-win, like across the board. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, yeah, as we were discussing earlier, one of the visions we have for the future is really this mix of cannabis and hospitality. So it's not just that, you're home smoking in your living room and you're watching a movie, but maybe you want to go out and play arcade games while you're consuming, or go to a spa while you're consuming, or, just be social, hang out in a social setting with others who are consuming. And the visions, where do you do that? And Claridge just made a lot of sense for a number of reasons. Number one, they don't have a casino, so there's no violation of federal gaming laws with local, or even state gaming laws with cannabis. So whereas many of the other casinos, right, they can't have them, at least not yet. Claridge itself was struggling a little, and still is, because Bally's is next door. They're connected. They're putting $100 million into their rooms to redo them, and they're already, currently they're running them at $39 a night on some of the slower nights, whereas Claridge needs to get more than that just to cover cleaning costs and what have you, because they don't get gaming revenue.
Sure, those supplemental revenue.
So they're really, it's tough for them to compete. So for them to leverage cannabis consumption in the hotel, in rooms, in specific areas that we can maybe do private membership clubs in, and our public lounge, which we're in the middle of getting approved through the state now, really brings a new vigor to Claridge that didn't exist before. And that's, and the ownership is they're good business people, and they're looking at it from the real estate investors, but at the same time, how do you increase the value of that property?
And so
Guys, that's just a glimpse of High Roller Dispensary, one of the highest end dispensaries I've ever seen. That's in Atlantic City. We were down there a couple weeks ago. Definitely check out that story. But if you want to see this, the full interview where Phil and Todd sit down with Jon Cohn, really pick his brain. He's a huge industry insider. He's been in there for years and years. This guy knows more about cannabis than most people know about anything. You're not going to want to miss it. Definitely, it's going to premiere Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to want to subscribe to Late Night Green, Cough Country TV. It's going to air on there, and you're actually going to see Philly Phil sit down with this guy and really get into the marijuana industry.